she took my brother and I to Disney World. Okay? We're what, 7 and 3, right? Okay, 7 and 3. And they're leaving to go to Disney World. On the plane, ready to take off. There was a lot of issues happening. They wound up sitting on the runway for an hour, a couple hours. It was hot. Everybody was sweaty. My dad was getting angry. Okay? And the way hearing this story kind of put things into perspective for me and some things of how I've been able to grow. But hearing this story, you don't know what he acted in such a way that pissed everybody off. Okay? That the plane that they were in left the runway, went back to where it took off and asked my family to get off. And they get off, stay in a hotel, and then the next day they fly and go to Disney, right? Now, that might not be funny in a sense as nobody's laughing because the way that I'm telling it, but understand that hearing my mom tell me that was funny, right? Because I could only imagine the craziness going on about how upset he was affected everybody enough to say enough, get out, get off, get away from me. So it really put things into perspective, and that was a very funny story to me, hearing the way you told it, right? So my dad was so joyous. He learned at the end of his life that he was a success. You know, he kept comparing himself at the end of his life to me, to other people, this, that. He kept comparing. And finally he realized that he was a success because he raised kids, one by themselves. I mean, he raised a kid by himself for a while. And raised families, bought houses, always paid, you know, no this. But the latter part of his years, the way he viewed his life started to deteriorate. So if you can take one thing from this, a simple perspective switch on your own life will make you feel a whole lot better about where you're at, right? And it was such a joy to spend time with him at the end, right? And it makes the time and conversations we had at the end, it makes the beginning and our disagreements much more enjoyable. Just from a simple perspective shift, right? In how I viewed my dad, or how I viewed circumstances or relationships, or what I should have did or could have did or didn't do, or this or that. So, you know, hearing how great his life was prior to this is even a more testament, you know, because you never really know until you know. Once you know, then you can shift how you think about it, and that shift creates how you actually feel about whatever that is. So like my wife says to me, and I'm going to close, my wife says to me, hey, what do you want the words to be for your crystal, for your dad? What shape do you want? Blah, 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 blah. And it reads, the most unique man we've ever known. He was authentic, passionate, and truly lived life. He fought for his country, lived for his family, and died for a purpose. Gene Hartman, 1933 to 2022. So I appreciate thoroughly the family members and friends that came to listen and to hear about this man. He was a great man, and he lived a great life, and he is living the greatest life right now. So, you know, love you, Dad. That's it. Thank you guys for coming out.